Welcome to the Relentless Road Podcast. Welcome to episode number 54 of the Relentless Road Podcast. It is March the 19th. Spring has sprung. My name is Tim Scrivener. I am joined, as always, by Ryan McDonald.
Hey, hey.
We've got Jennifer producing over here.
Good morning.
And she's got everything just crammed right up on top of her.
Yeah.
Now, I'm usually the only cool kid with the cool broken down
Earbuds.
running earbuds. Yeah. And the upholder here.
I know.
Forgot her headphones.
Yeah.
She had to use them to quiet kids.
Yeah.
Probably
Block
on a
them
ride
out.
or something like that.
On a car ride.
Car ride. Worked
Block.
pretty good.
Well, now we just had spring break, and now on that car ride, you and your husband took the kiddos out to the west far reaches of the Panhandle, right?
Yes.
So how was the trip? What'd you go? What'd you do?
We went to Palo Duro, camped for, I guess, 3.5 days.
Did you see any rattlesnakes?
No, I did not. I saw turkeys and deer.
You know what else she didn't see? Fire.
You didn't see fire?
No, I did not see a campfire.
No campfires.
Or any water to speak of.
The burn ban?
They had a burn
Yeah.
ban.
Okay.
Yeah, and it got really cold at night, too.
Okay. Well, I can talk to Tony on giving us some tips and ideas on how to stay warm when you don't have a campfire.
Yeah,
That's like perfect
you
lead-in,
can't do
right?
that when you
It's
have
like,
kids
so
our
we
age.
ain't got no campfire.
No, our kids are always in our business too.
Oh, I'd just send them to another camp or something. Go make some friends. Go chase the turkeys. Just need 2 or 3 minutes. So now you guys, did you go to Happy? Did you find Happy?
I think I don't know. It might have been on our way to Lubbock. Is it off that interstate right there?
I don't remember. I just
I
know
don't
that
know.
Happy, Texas is right up there by Palo Duro, and this is like a childhood type memory where we went and visited when we was out there. So did they have the musical going, or is that just a
No,
summer
it's in the
thing?
summer. Yeah,
Okay.
we just saw where they do it.
Okay. So y'all didn't get up there and do your own impromptu?
I think Tony and Elena rode bikes over there and did it while I was cooking dinner one night. So,
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's her thing. She's quite a performer.
Hey. Every family needs at least one.
Yes, we have one.
Well, that's the important thing. Now, Mac, you guys went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, 10 Killer Lake. That's pretty nice.
How did he get his name? Did you ever figure that out?
No, I don't want to know.
10 Killer. Is this something where they just changed the name in the 70s after some tragedy? Or?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
But it was nice. It's real pretty up there. It was a little cold, but we had a fire.
Rub it in.
They had campfire.
Yeah.
We had a campfire, but it's good. I enjoy it up there.
Okay. So anything exciting?
Oh, I went on a little hike, which was kind of cool. It took me a little bit longer than the rest, but I got it done. It was about a 5K.
Mm-hmm.
Some up and downs, some rocks to hop over. Well, I didn't do any hopping.
You didn't hop?
No, I did very careful steps.
Now, how long has it been since you've done a hike like that over terrain?
I don't, man.
Did you
It's been a
y'all
while.
did something last summer, right? Didn't you hike at some point?
It wasn't like that.
Okay.
You know,
I didn't know if you had something to compare it to.
it felt good. I didn't. Cardio wasn't a problem. I was just, always watching where my foot went.
Mm-hmm.
Not for critters or anything. Just making sure the world didn't move.
The critters are watching your foot, I promise you.
That's fine. I can handle the critters. I just can't handle
Big guy in the woods, the scatter.
I just can't handle when the earth moves.
That's usually precedes more movement.
That's right.
And movement you don't want. So how'd you do dietary wise out there?
Good.
Okay. Did you?
I didn't screw up any. One evening, everyone was like, "Oh, let's go get pizza." It's like, "Oh, great! I'm not gonna be the guy saying, no, we can't go get pizza, guys. Y'all are just gonna have to do whatever I do." But no, it was cool. We went to this place in called Salmonella's.
Didn't it just make you want to?
Isn't that awesome?
Can I have
that
some
was a great
raw
name.
chicken, please?
It was in Tahlequah,
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma.
Isn't that where Danny lives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A really cool little town.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a little college there and a little downtown. We walk through and everything, but it so they bring out these pizzas look amazing. They're like oven fired. I mean, the crust is, man, it has to be standing like 2 inches tall.
Thick crust.
Thick crust.
Very
dish.
super grainy.
Yeah,
See how she's trained herself to say that with disdain? Even a little bit of judgment.
and so
Mac is. Hold on
I just
a second.
don't
This
like
is,
thick
this is
crust anyway,
important.
though.
But
Like,
this is
I've-
important.
Yeah.
It's Mac is describing the same thing, and he's describing it in lustful tones.
yes,
And
the crust was bubbling,
but Jen has
And
trained her brain to
crusty, and
very grainy.
Yeah.
With a hint of judgment and disgust, and so she's not lusting about it.
she would eat this pizza. I guarantee you, she would.
Thin crust I will eat sometimes,
Well,
but
the bottom was thin, but it's the surrounding that they like built up to like this. It was like a big bowl of pizza. It was
Sounds like a bowl of grain, Jen.
a bowl of grain. Anyway, I took a menu and
bowl
I
of cellulite.
and it just so I didn't have to sit there and drink water. I looked at the menu,
Mm-hmm.
and there it was. Actually, Zach, my brother-in-law, said, "Hey, man, they got this mean mushroom thing, with cheese." And I was like, "That's perfect." I had it, and it was amazing.
So it's like a stuffed mushroom.
It was a bunch of mushrooms in this bowl with just mozzarella cheese.
Okay, so it wasn't a
Yummy.
single mushroom.
No, it was just
multiple.
like,
okay, like
I
on a
mean,
skillet type deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like on this little mini skillet, and it was amazing.
Mm.
It was really good. And I stuck to it.
So then you weighed in on Friday. What did you come back at?
I came back at +2.
Okay, well now, Jen, after the show, he claimed 384 on the
Oh,
show,
yeah.
and then he
Oh yeah, right.
he realized
Then it
his
was-
picture when he went to post it on Facebook said 382
382.
because it was, I guess, flashing back and forth, and you had to get the picture just right.
Evidently
flash.
it did.
Okay, so you're at either even or +2, but we didn't screw up dietary.
No.
So
I fully expected to get some movement this week or last week,
you
But-
fully expected.
Yes.
Okay.
Because of the activity level. I mean, my activity level's up. Of
Oh,
course,
you
I
mean
was
some
in.
movement on the
Yeah.
scale?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like I fully expect to get some movement on my trip. That's how. Okay.
Okay.
I just clarifying there. Okay. So
So
You did get
I took y'all's advice, and I pulled my drawer of Fitbits out,
mhm.
and I found one that actually worked, and I charged it, and it still worked, and it kept a charge. So I've had one on since, let's see, Sunday, March 11th.
Okay, so this first Sunday of spring break.
Oh.
Now, did you use it like daily to kind of see where you were?
Yeah, it's been on since then.
I mean, but like throughout the day, did you like look down and go, oh man, I'm only at whatever? Did you use it as a cue, or did you just use it in retrospect of, okay, how much activity did I get?
A little bit of both, but it
Okay.
really didn't change anything. Like, I wanted to see where I was at,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be spring break, and I knew there'd be long drive times, and I knew there'd be, so I wasn't going to beat myself up too bad. But, so that first Sunday, I realized how much I move around Sunday morning,
Mm-hmm.
because I help a church set up, kind of produce a service kind of thing. And I had most of my steps, before noon,
Mm-hmm.
on that Sunday. So Sunday was 7,600.
Okay.
Then Monday was...
So what happens after church? What do you do?
I can't remember what I was doing.
I mean,
there.
just in general. I don't know if there's like do y'all have a routine? I mean,
No,
okay.
there's no routine.
All right.
I can't remember if that's the day we finished putting up the basketball goal or not, but one of these days was that. No, you know what? We were in the car for the rest of the day.
On
that
Sunday?
day. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Sunday, you church then drove.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Monday was my best day, and that was the 12,700. That was the hike.
Okay.
Plus, sitting around the campfire.
Uh-huh.
And then there was another drive day at 5,000.
Well, hold on a second. So what's Tuesday? Was Tuesday a drive day?
Was it Tuesday the drive day?
Well, Monday you said it was 12,000. So what was Tuesday?
Did we drive on Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday was 5.
Okay, so you just
51.
y'all went up Sunday. Y'all just spent the night, Sunday night, Monday night, and then came back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 5,100 on Tuesday.
Yep. Then
so drive.
about the same on Wednesday.
So you weren't driving on Wednesday.
But I was also charging my Fitbit.
Okay, so like, how much do you think? Walk me through that. Just
2,000.
clear. Well, I mean,
it was just in the morning. I was probably because my next couple days are 6,000 and 7,000 and 8,000.
So 5 to 7K. So Thursday was 6,000.
6,000, 7,000, and 8,000 on Saturday.
Okay, so then
And then Sunday was another 7,000.
did you have another drive day?
No, I had another rest day. It's the last rest of the.
Okay.
And I also had a good date with the wife on Sunday.
Okay, and I guess it didn't involve a hike.
No, absolutely not.
So this is what we wanted to see.
Mhm.
This is what we had been saying, that we think you might be overestimating your activity level. Now
This is a skewed thing because of it was spring break, but I would say I'm not anymore. I'm not doing 12, 13, 14,000 steps a day right now.
Okay, so how many days you guys came back Tuesday? So you were in town Wednesday through Sunday. You went on a hike on Monday, so that was intentional activity. How many other days did you go to the gym or get some sort of intentional activity?
None.
Why? We're trying to hit 368 by the end of the month. Remember, we had this whole conversation. You can pull up the last podcast. He's looking at me like I'm stupid over here.
No, I'm doing some stuff with the kids, but I'm not like going to the gym, if that's what you're asking.
I'm saying, where are we being intentional? A person who's trying to lose another 100 pounds has to be intentional all the time. I'm asking, where are we being intentional on trying to get activity to burn calories so that we can lose weight?
Okay, there wasn't intention every day,
Okay.
if that's what you're asking.
He's getting defensive now.
I'm just telling you.
So there wasn't intention on any day except for Monday?
No.
Okay. Now, Jen, right before we came on air, whenever we knew we had max steps, I wanted you to pull yours up. And now, what was the very first thing out of your mouth?
It wasn't one of my best weeks.
Okay. So I want you to walk us through your week.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess do you have like last Sunday?
And that's, I mean, really, like, and I just mean it wasn't one of my best. Like, I had some really good days, but I have a goal to get every day, and I missed it like 4 times, which I normally anyway.
What's your daily goal?
Well, it's like 700 active calories.
Okay. So it's not necessarily steps related.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's
Okay.
just so like Sunday was my best day. That was our first full day at the campground. And the weather was nice. So I ran a 5K and Tony and I hiked, I think like 7 miles. So my steps were 29,538. That's ridiculous.
Awesome. It is.
All right.
But then the rest,
So
I mean, it's
then
like
Monday.
was 15.8. Tuesday, 14.8. That was like a half day on the road. Wednesday was half day on the road, but you get home and you're unpacking and stuff, and I went for runs. That was almost 16,000. My lowest day was Friday, and that was 13,485 steps.
Okay. All I'm trying to show here, Mac, and this is what I think has been maybe our frustration, is that where you're thinking you're getting activity, it's at a complete different scale. Obviously, you're not in the shape Jennifer's in, but it's taken the mentality of there's her worst day in the week was 13,000.
That was my best.
That was, you didn't hit 13,000 your best.
Almost.
On your hike. Almost is not, this isn't horseshoes, hand grenades.
12,792. I'm almost there.
She had you by 800 steps. Her worst day and your best day. And all I'm trying to do is we need to recalibrate what is sufficient activity to get beneficial results. And I mean, 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day, that's not doing squat. I mean, honestly, that's not doing anything.
Well, I told you it's skewed because it was a break. It was, I mean, there'll be more steps this week just because it's more of a, but no, I did not go out and make efforts except a couple days to get a lot of steps. I wanted to see where I was, and I did.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. You're talking about this being skewed in the sense of what you're seeing the future holding. I'm saying this is probably very accurate for what the past has held.
No. No.
Really?
Not double or anything like that.
Huh?
Not double or anything like that, but it's definitely better, less than, besides that one day, it's less than I normally get.
Okay. I mean, where do you think?
But not any.
But where do you think you're getting more when the kids are in school? What is the difference of because if you're not outside jacking with the kids, if the kids are in school, so on the days that the kids are in school and we're in a normal, say this is 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, where are you getting more activity on a daily basis than what you would have done during this last week? I'm asking.
Well, the gym. You know, I'm coming to the gym, and I'm.
You know, but you haven't been. We can go back to the last every week. You have not made more than 2 times in a week. You have not made. You have 1 day, 1 week. You got 2 days where you did 2 days. Okay, so outside of that, my point being is your whole is so subpar from what you can do or what you even need to be doing to elicit a change. That's why we're sitting here 2/3 of the way through March. And you're not even back to where you were at the beginning of December. You're hamstringing yourself.
Oh, yeah, maybe a little bit, but I like seeing it. It's easier to see it and know that I need to do something.
Absolutely.
More.
Now we're able to
activity.
measure it. Yeah.
What is your step goal? What's that at?
10,000.
Okay.
Which is probably pretty good for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean, but that ought to be the absolute, bare minimum of come hell or high water, become obsessive to the point of if it's 9 o'clock at night and you're at 7,000 steps.
You're going outside to walk.
I mean,
2 miles.
I told you right before we came on air, Jen, that I was literally walking the dogs with my wife last night and then thinking about Mac because I was thinking about this because Marika is obsessive with her Fitbit. She didn't have it on all day. So,
oh no!
Oh yeah. So, because she's obsessive with it, then it's like, oh my gosh, now I've got to go. You know, I got to go get some steps. I've got to. It has to count. You know, it's like it doesn't really count. So she was putting it on there, and we went for just a couple mile walk with the dogs. You know, and this was after dinner last night. Excuse me, and I was literally thinking about that because I was realizing how many steps she was getting just in that little bitty 2 mile, 30-minute walk. You know, post dinner. And she was getting I think she 3,500 or 4,000,
it should be at
something
least
like that.
4,000, I would think, for her.
And just within that, and that was just it wasn't. I wouldn't consider that my workout for the day. I wouldn't consider that, but that's just something we integrate in with the consistency of who we are and what we do. Where it's just part of our daily. We don't feel right if we're not doing it, and that's what I'm trying to get you. Two is the idea that there's a minimum amount of activity I've got to do every day, and I don't care how I feel. I don't care what my toe feels like, what my head feels like, what anything.
I understand, yeah.
Because that's where and that's where you were the first time through. I think you've focused and you've said a few times about the idea of, 2 hours a day and cardio and da-da-da. I think we're missing because of
If I've swung the pendulum the other way, it will.
Oh yeah.
Finally. It will land somewhere that I can deal with.
No.
Yes.
No, nothing happens accidentally. Nothing just lands accidentally.
When I find what the puzzle pieces that that I would like to build this journey with.
Okay.
I don't want to do it like I did it last time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it different. This is going to take longer.
And that's fine. Hold on a second. Within that analogy you just used, obviously, I leap, then I look. Okay, that's part of my personality. So a little over a year ago, when we were talking about, hey, let's do a podcast. Mm-hmm. And then I really didn't think anything until, okay, y'all get everything together. Y'all get it figured out. My point being is if it had been left to me and I had to figure out what equipment we needed, what software we needed, and everything else, and I wouldn't have asked for you or listened to, I could have tried to take in all the pieces and tried to push them together and try to find different ways, and I might have eventually found something that worked, but it would have been a hell of a lot more efficient if I said, hey, Mac, where does this plug go? Okay, my point being is that we can, based upon your analogy, okay,
yeah,
the puzzle pieces of not getting activity on a consistent basis and working out twice a week doesn't work. So now we can check that off, and let's move into exercise.
Absolutely.
Exercise
Absolutely.
every day.
There has to be more activity. I know that.
Every single day. I mean, like, there is no such thing. What were you resting from on Sunday? It sure shit wasn't any activity. It was a psychological. The thing is, we've sat here and we've gone over these things before on the idea that when we feel like we need rest physically, usually it's more emotional and psychological, and the activity, doing something, actually produces all the chemicals in our brain that make us feel better and want to do more.
Right. I spent most of the afternoon with my wife, mm-hmm. and we did not go out and do anything that strenuous.
Yeah, I know, but neither did you for the 5 days prior to that. My point being is that you keep trying to, and I'm just trying to point this out to you, Matt, because what you're doing is you're grabbing a hold and trying to say, okay, well, Sunday I was hanging out with my wife and we was chilling. Well, every day that week except for Monday was like Sunday. Every day except for a handful of days where you've come to the gym or a handful of days where you've done something, that has been your day. Okay? It's the mentality is that what we've got to shift. I'm not saying you have to do 2 hours a day of cardio, okay? But you're using that as a reason to not do anything. You will not get from point A to point B without activity. And if you go back and listen to these last 4 or 5 podcasts, it's been the same song every week. Okay, well, I didn't this week because my foot hurt. Well, I didn't this week because of this and that. Well, this week I did it twice, but I did 2 days on those 2 days. The point being, it's consistency. You don't have to do 2 days to make weight before the deal if you're doing something every day. That's where you're trying to develop a lifestyle. You're trying to find something that works all the time. It will never work without adequate daily activity. There's just no way to make it work.
I didn't say that at all.
But that's what you're saying it with your actions and everything else. That's what you just got through saying, trying to find something that will work for you.
That's right. That's not 2 hours at the gym, being a gym rat. That's not.
But who has asked for 2 hours of gym rat?
I'm just comparing. The only other thing I have to compare it to is the last time I lost weight. Okay?
Okay. But once again, what your comparison is not valid, Matt, because what you're focusing on is the outside.
Don't tell me what's valid and what's not.
You do 2 hours a day for 3 years. You did not do 2 hours a day on a consistent basis. That was specific times, and you were training for a physical endeavor that was just a crazy kick-ass event that you had to be in great shape for. But that doesn't mean your pendulum has, completely swung to, I'm going to try to do this with just diet, and it has not been working since last May. Okay, we are coming up on, this is 10 months. I'm just saying, we're at 10 months, Mac. Okay?
It's going to take longer. It is. But guess what? Last time, it didn't stick. It did not stick. Whatever I didn't do, whatever I did, it did not stick. I can't keep that up for the rest of my life.
Keep what up? Keep what up? I'm asking.
What I did. The 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day, the constant workouts. I need to find something that I can eat better and I can have the activity I enjoy and lose the weight and keep it off.
I'm not.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what you think you're doing, Mac. But here's the deal.
Okay, so if
you're
we're not at the same level of what we think we're doing, I will eventually get there.
Mac, we don't have 5 years to string people along to listen to your story about you trying to get there. If you haven't done shit in 10 months.
If you want to get off the train, get off the train.
10 months.
I can't think about that. I have to put those 10 months. Listen to me. I have to put those 10 months behind me, because if I think about the 10 months, then I feel like this right here.
Okay, but you're not listening. You're not paying attention, Mac.
No,
you're being
you aren't.
defensive.
You aren't.
Mac, you have to say, what did I learn from those 10 months? So you're doing the same thing. You're trying to say that I'm justified. I'm trying to figure out what works, and you're still doing the same thing. That's why you're still getting the same non-results. I'm not saying 2 hours a day. I'm saying that there should not be a week goes by where you don't have 5 to 6 days as a minimum of daily activity.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm getting there. Yes.
What does I am getting there mean? That's leaving a loophole, Mac. That's the same.
Dude, there is no loopholes. I can't.
What is prohibiting you then from getting there?
Because I want to find something I can do for the rest of my life.
Can you move for the rest of your life?
I don't know. If I'm moving and I'm overeating and I'm eating the wrong crap, if I mess up a leg or can't move, I need to be able to know exactly what I can eat. Exactly.
Do you have full control of all faculties at this time?
Absolutely.
Then use them. Okay.
We are.
That's like me saying, in case I go blind, I'm going to go through my day with my eyes blindfolded.
No,
that's exactly what you just said.
That's the thought of a guy that's been in shape.
Mac, no. Okay, don't go that direction, because you won't win in that direction, because it doesn't. No, that's the thought of someone who knows and has seen it countless times. I've never worked with anybody in the last 25 years who didn't have to do things to get where they want to be.
I'm not saying that. You're putting words in my mouth, dude.
No, I'm not putting anything in your mouth. I'm telling
yes, you are.
What did you just say? You just said, well, I'm trying to find something.
The way we look at our bodies are different.
Mm-hmm.
I look at my body like, oh, crap, I got to go from this rock to this rock, and that rock can't move. You jump over the rock because that's how you're built.
But that's how I've made myself, Mac. That's how I've trained myself. That's how I've trained my mentality. It's no different.
You don't want to go there.
But I'm saying it's a consistent. It's the reason I will jump over the rock is because I want to be able to jump over it in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. And if I can't jump over it at 42, I'm not going to be able to jump over it at 62. Now, the reason I can jump over it at 42 is because I jumped over it at 40. I jumped over it at 35. I jumped over it at 26. Because I've consistently built those things, and I've built those into a mind frame and a mindset to where it's part of my DNA, and this is what we're trying to do. I would never argue with anybody about daily activity, and what you've consistently done is tried to argue against daily activity on why you haven't been doing it.
No, I am all for daily activity. I need to do more.
Do you ever walk? Have you walked around your new neighborhood much?
Yes.
Is that enjoyable?
Not really.
Okay, never mind.
Well, but it's also on the level of this. Is it enjoyable being 400 pounds? No. So we do things for a purpose, and so it's more of the same type of that you don't always go to work because you feel like going to work. You don't always do things for the kids because you feel like doing things for the kids. You don't always be nice or do the extra things for your wife because you feel like doing it. We do certain things because that's just how things work better. I know if I don't pick this fight with my wife, that we'll have a more enjoyable evening. Even though I may want to, I may not feel like biting my tongue. It's the same thing. We're going
the same place, Tim.
It doesn't sound like it.
But you want me to be there, and I'm getting there.
But no. we're not getting there is what I'm saying.
You think I have a mindset of trying to get out of activity. That's not what my mindset is.
No, but maybe not. But you don't have a mindset that says, come hell or high water, I'm getting in my activity today. And all I'm worried about is today. All I got to worry about today. Jennifer, last Tuesday.
Well, how many steps you got, Jen? Please don't be over mine.
He worked out this morning.
Okay, let's see. Dang it. Well, I have 86:47.
Screw that.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I got 4,000.
Okay, that's a great start. That's a great start. So you are nearly halfway to your goal. But Jen, I was sharing this a little bit with Mac last night. My wife got a phone call last Monday, and there was a individual we know whose wife was in town. She had been in town to do some sort of retreat where she's trying to get sober. And she missed her flight on the way back home. They couldn't find her, so they started calling around, called the airline, and they're like, "Yeah, you need to call Dallas police." So she is here for her sobriety trip, and then she did all week, and then like we all do, whether it's food, whatever it may be. Well, I've done good all week. Obviously, I don't have a problem. So she had a drink. Well, if I've had one, I'm not going to do it all week, so I need to go ahead and get it all out of my system. It's the same thing we do with food, the same thing we do with binge watching TV, whatever it may be. It's the same mindset, same frame of reference, and the idea that we get arrogant in what we're doing or what we think we can do. So, one thing led to another. Next thing she knows, she's blacked out, and she wakes up in the Dallas City jail. And so I went over, sat down, and talked to her. And I had immediately and we haven't talked about it a lot on this podcast, but I was back in the same position I was 4.5 years ago, where I remember sitting in a airport, and I saw this 80-year-old couple, and they're sitting across there, and they're holding hands. They obviously loved each other. They lived a perfect life. They probably never fought a day of their life. Everything's been perfect. Their kids all probably have MBAs and just wonderful grandkids. And I'm never going to have that because I'm such a loser. I keep making the same mistake. Now, we've talked a little bit before, the idea that I knew, and we talked about this a while back, Mac, the idea that you said, you know where you're going. You're confident that you're going to get there. Okay, I knew where I was going. I knew I was going to eventually quit, yet I kept doing the same things. I didn't change completely my mindset to where it was off the table for me. But anyway, when I'm talking to this young lady, she made the comment of, why can't I just be normal? I see my friends and family or everybody else, they're hanging out, they're having drinks, they're fine, this and that. And at some point, it's the idea, as I was telling her, is that, sorry, your brain is wired different. You're not able to have a little bit and say stop. And, it's the idea that I never felt a buzz. It was either sober or drunk, at least as far as what I could perceive or feel. And that's the way she is. And it's like either nothing or full throttle. And it's just the way her brain works. So she can never, if she wants to not black out again and do stupid shit, she just has to take it off the table for her. So it may be fine for others. And she's got to figure out how that looks for her, just like I had to figure out what that looks like for me. She's concerned about being that person. We got to hide the alcohol, and I'm sure, Mac talked about it earlier, the idea of they're going to the pizza place. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not going to be that person that hijacks everybody else because I'm not going to eat the pizza. It's, everybody has to figure out how am I going to disarm that for myself, but we also have to figure out what our non-negotiables are. And for her, it has to be no alcohol. For me, it has to be no alcohol. Because I may be fine that first time, but a week later, I'm not going to be fine. A month later, I'm sure as hell not going to be fine. Because I will just get arrogant and prideful in thinking what I'm able to accomplish. All I'm saying, Mac, is that I think your activity has got to become a non-negotiable. You don't have to work out 2 hours a day. Okay, I think the pendulum, it's the fear of that and the fear that I'm going to not do something sustainable. Then, okay, how can I do this just with diet? Or how can I do this just with that? yin and yang that work together, and we've got to have a non-negotiable of a minimum. I'm not, whether it's right now, if you got that thing set for 10,000 steps a day, then that needs to be your non-negotiable. I get 10,000 steps a day, come hell or water, no matter what. It just, nothing else. It comes off the table, then you're not worried about it. You're not thinking about it. We're not sitting here arguing about it. We can evaluate a month or two from now of whether or not you're reaching the goals you're wanting to reach at the speed you're wanting to reach, and then we can kind of address it from that situation of whether or not we need to increase it, or maybe we need to do some, restriction of the calories, or, we manipulate things to get to a goal, and then we find a happy medium. What I would caution you on is it was not sustainable because you completely bailed on everything you've been doing. You didn't try to find a happy medium in there. It just everything shut off. And then, after Christmas, after the New Year, all the New Year people, then it kept getting pushed out. So don't get deceived in the fact that because you tried something. This is what I talked to this young lady. She's been to the support group. She's been to AA. She's been to all these different things. And she can't stand them. And I couldn't either. Okay? It wasn't the way I was wired. And the rebel is the side of us of, well, if you tell me I have to do it like that, well, then sure shit, I'm not doing it like that. No, don't tell me how I'm going to do it. And it is finding what works for you. And I relayed to her a story of that Dave McGilvery, race director for the Boston Marathon. We've heard him say several times about a lady that was wanting to run the marathon. I believe she had dwarfism. I think she had some sort of other medical issues. And he is thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way this woman's gonna be able to run 26 miles, but okay, I feel like I need to help her. And she's like, no, I'm not running 26 miles. I'm running 26 feet, 1 feet or whatever it was, 26.2 feet. Mm-hmm. And here's my start line, there's my finish line. And her deal and his whole premise was her race, her rules. And so it's, you mentioned earlier that you were the last one on the hike. That's fine. You're not comparing yourself against anybody else. It's your race. And you're talking about trying to create something that works for you. That's true. And that's what you're going to have to do. We all have to figure out what your body's going to respond different than my body versus Jen's body. But there's certain foundational principles that we have to build off of that are just part of our daily routine. Then we can tweak and play with these other things. Does that make sense?
I agree.
Okay. And so what do you say? He said he's going to do 10,000 steps every day?
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal.
All right. So next week we'll find out if Max got 10,000 steps every day. We'll see if the scale moves a little bit. And then we're going to also introduce, Max will be doing a 90-day transformation challenge. And so we'll talk a little bit about that next week and the things you're going to do. And it's a great short-term goal. That way he has something specific, tangible to be training for, as opposed to the vague get in shape. And that's where I think most of us struggle, is we have the vague goal instead of the tangible, I've got to do X. But if you'd like to follow Mac's story a little more closely, give him some feedback, tell him what an a-hole I am and how I ought to be nicer to him, you can find him at Relentless Road on Facebook. You can also find us on YouTube. You can hit subscribe. Go ahead and share this with your friends and family. Give us some feedback. Also find us on iTunes at Relentless Road. And we hope today that we've inspired you as you continue to inspire us.